So, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about Minecraft, and I have two very special guests William Gudde, a coworker of mine, and a musician named Cory Shane, who have been playing Minecraft together for years. So, again, welcome to the podcast, and I hope you enjoy. Will is a big troll, and
Oh, I he tortured me for like 3 years. I mean,
tortured you for 3 years.
It's
Gotcha.
true.
we were in college together for what, a year and a half, 2 years, and
Yeah, about two.
every day I would we all had the same classroom for most of our classes, so I'd come into class every day, and my computer was hijacked with communist propaganda, and
I told you about this, Ralf, with the batch files and the viruses I put on.
every day was agony.
Oh, it was
Hence the nickname Comrade.
yeah. Yeah, it's okay.
Well, one time my mom came on campus for some reason, and I introduced Will. Will puts his arm around me. He's like, "What's up? I'm Coy's boyfriend."
Oh no.
Of course I was joking, but his mom didn't know that. It was the
Well, I mean,
funniest thing.
she had heard horror stories. So
Yeah,
Okay.
so
So she half expected to be for your friend to come out in a grandiose, "Hey, I'm his buddy" kind of way.
yeah, pretty much.
Gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. All right. Well, we've already started recording, and I actually kind of like that intro, so I'm just gonna keep it. Yeah. So that's
This
how.
is a podcast about Minecraft, everyone. We promise.
Yeah. Today we are going to talk about Minecraft. But
Yeah.
why don't you guys actually started? And I'm like, stop! This is podcast gold. But why don't you guys kind of introduce yourselves and tell me how you guys met?
So, it was. I'm Will. I'm William Gudde. I don't have a moniker of any sort, which is something that Raf always starts out with in these podcasts, as I've been listening to them on Spotify, which is some place you can go to listen to them now. Shameless plug for you, my friend.
Thank you.
But no, it was some day at College of the Washitas, which is no longer called that right now. It's called Arkansas State University, Three Rivers. It was sometime then when I really got to meet Cory. I met him in the student lounge. But the first time him and our friends Aaron and Chase met me was during a student government meeting. A couple of times they had said, "All right, all in favor of this motion, raise your hand and say aye. Aye. All right, all opposed," and then it'd just be quiet. And it was like this again and again and again for several things. So I said, the next time it came up, all in favor, raise your hand, say aye. Everyone said aye, all opposed, and I said, "Yo, mama." And I don't know if you've ever I don't know if you've ever seen parliamentary procedure come to a screeching halt before, but that is how you do it, and that is how I met Cory Styles.
Gotcha.
You remember that, right, Cory?
Unfortunately, yeah, I do.
That's great. And whoever elected you to be a representative for any
I was.
group of
Cory
people.
was the
No,
representative.
he was just in the crowd.
I was just in the crowd.
For a
Okay.
man who calls himself communist, it sure was an anarchist move.
Yeah. You
That-
know, I'm not actually communist. I do that for the memes because memes, but so does Cory. He does memes.
Yeah.
Memes. Okay, which we kind of have an argument about memes, which we'll touch on later. But Cory, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. And you also told me that you do music, so tell us a little bit about that
I
too.
do. So I am Cory Shane. Will and I have been buddies for quite a while now, starting through college and post college, and I play music. Right now, it's mostly instrumental stuff. You can find me on Spotify under Cory Shane. Pyramid Scheme, my first EP, came out back in November. More to come. But
Are
I've
we
also got a
are we
Oh, go
sure
ahead.
about that? You're not trolling people
no,
with
it's
the
all
pyramid
yeah.
scheme.
Yeah, if you invite 3 people to listen to my EP and 3 more people listen to the EP, you all get to share. No. the title track's got a Egyptian-y feel to it. But I've also got a podcast on Spotify about movies, short-sighted cinema. Uh, I don't know a whole lot about film, but we discuss, review, and make fun of film.
That is awesome. I don't know if Will has shared out what we've done, but our very first episode was about Chris Nolan films.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so like that's a big passion of mine too, movies. So that's pretty cool. I'll have to check that out.
Oh yeah, short-sighted cinema.
Short-sighted cinema. All right. Well,
Shameless plug for Cory, shameless plug for Ralf.
yeah, heck yeah, and I'll add that to the links of the description. That way, anybody that wants to check it out, more than welcome to do that as well.
I think he's wicked cool.
Definitely. So, the topic of today, Minecraft. And my first question to both of you is why? Why Minecraft?
Why Minecraft?
Yeah.
Dang.
Well, okay, so let me explain this. I'm probably quite a few years older than you guys. At least 5, I think. No, for Will, I'm 10 years older than you, at least.
Yeah.
So I think I missed the train, right? Like I was too old for when the Minecraft popularity came through. So like I really know very little about the game.
You played Classic. I got you to play some Classic. So that was good.
I did play Classic, and I obsessively for about 2 hours tried to build a treehouse castle. And and okay, I get the
was like,
allure of that.
And then you shared it with me what you had built, and I'm like, so, Raph, do you get it now? And he's like, yes, I get the appeal of this game.
Well, I get the appeal of the building, which you've told me some pretty cool facts about world building and the world of Minecraft. But I want to get a perception of somebody that's actually played the real game modes and not just like walked around and used blocks to build stuff.
Let's see. I started on it. I want to say I was like 14, so
Yeah,
that would have
same.
been around 2012.
11.
Friends showed it to me, and I just kind of I fell in love with the half survival, almost RPG-esque side, along with the building, and it's one of the only things I've played consistently. I guess just to say on and off these past
Oh, yeah.
8 years, 9 years. I've ran a couple servers, and the way I play it is completely different than the way Will plays.
Oh, yeah.
Will is like a engineering genius and automating everything he does, and I just kind of like to farm.
Okay, so explain the difference between those two. What do you mean by farming and by engineering?
So, oh, like, I mean, there are a few different, being a sandbox game, there are 1,000 different ways to play. I very much enjoy more just kind of, I play kind of repetitively. I go and I find resources. I listen to music a lot while I play, and it's real relaxing. I'll find resources.
Oh, yeah.
I'll make get food ready. While Will, on the other hand, will kind of, I don't want to use the word exploit. He takes, like
Shut up,
he's
Raph.
able to
I
make
see you.
machinery out of things that I don't know if the developers intended, like, but not in a bad way. Like it was like,
No,
there's a material in the game called redstone that is essentially, would you
electric
describe it?
wire.
Yeah, electric wiring. And
Yeah,
I think when they developed it in the game, and I think I started right around the redstone update, but where you could put a button on the ground, put some redstone underneath at a door on the other side, and it would just
Right.
automatically open the door. Simple stuff like that is kind of what they had in mind. Light switches. Well, will build things that automatically farm for you, or he made a clock out of all just redstone.
Yeah, I made a working digital clock that kept real time out of Minecraft Redstone. I've done it twice. I was preparing to do the third one on one of Corey's machines on Bedrock Edition. And then he's like, okay, turning off the world now. It's starting to get laggy, Will. We're putting computers inside of computers. That's not okay. It's a weird world. Minecraft in general, if I may interject, Corey, it is a sandbox game, and being that it is a sandbox game, you can play it in any way you want. If you want to be a naturalist and farm and live off the fat of the land, you can. If you want to build giant sculptures and statues, you can. Um, and if you want to build machines like I do, you can. In fact, there are tutorials online that do some pretty amazing things. I once saw this design from the SciCraft team, and they're a group of German and American and British engineers that play Minecraft for fun. And they actually made it to where they move a bunch of monsters, like in minecarts, from one part of the map to the other part of their map, whatever their world generated to be. And when it does that, it oversaturates like the amount of monsters in a chunk of the game. And chunks are how the game loads in. And when it does that, it will stop monsters from spawning anywhere else in the world. So they could literally, on this press of a button, turn off monster spawning without actually having to execute like server commands and stuff, which is insane.
So
It's absolutely amazing.
they basically break the game.
Yeah, they do some pretty amazing things. Like the farm that that he was talking about is a bamboo farm that we have on our server right now, where I basically have a mechanism that is able to pull itself forward and then back across again, like a flat plane. And the bamboo is up, so that way when it pulls itself across, it knocks the bamboo down, bamboo grows back up, and it goes back the other way. That is the basis of those things. It's called slime blocks. And
But
you can make airplanes out of them,
what's
and
so
they're
wild
fantastic.
about it is, and as opposed to a game like Factorio or Satisfactory, where you have these like crafting recipes to create tools to automatically do this stuff. A lot of the stuff in Minecraft that Will makes, it's more of like hacked together, if that makes sense. Like the developers didn't necessarily intend for you to be able to have a bunch of pistons moving to automatically farm stuff for you. And it blows my mind because I am nowhere near smart enough to like think like that. I just like to click on the potatoes until they farm, and then I put more down.
It's an amazing game in that, Raf, you can have a lifestyle in Minecraft per se, where you just go out and have adventures, or mine deep underground, or venture up the tallest mountains, or start a farm, build a roller coaster with a minecart track or whatever. Or you can make computers and take advantage of blocks of code in the game that allow you to do some pretty cheaty stuff. But anyway, the point the point I'm framing is that being as it is a sandbox game, it works for so many different type of people. And that's part of the reason why I like Minecraft so much. I started in 2011-ish, and I was roughly 14 or 13 then. And my sister Emily came home with her MacBook one day, and she had a game on it, and it was Minecraft. And I played it a little bit, and I thought it was absolutely fantastic, just off of her Mac. And she had gotten it from a friend who had an alpha code, so I had been playing it since 2011. And I'm with Cory, I don't play it just all the time. That's all I do. I'll have a 3 week addiction to Minecraft every 2 months. Like, if that makes any sense, right? So it's just how it is. You can play it however you want.
And I get that because I myself, I'm not a hardcore gamer. I think I don't. I talked about that with my friends. My friends are much more hardcore gamers than I am. At one point, uh, all of them were like top tier players in their respective games. And like it's just weird or coincidental that we're all friends, right? And then I'm just here as a potato that kind of join alongs with them. But I'm the same way. I might play video games very, you know, religiously for like a month or two, and then I'll quit for like 3 or 4 months at a time. That's probably why I've never gotten good. But I get that, you have stages and flows. Um,
Yeah.
but so you said she had the alpha code. So how long has this game been around?
So the official game was released in 2011, but if you want to get technical with things, you could have gotten a copy of the game if you knew somebody before they started charging for it fully. Um, before 2011, before the first Minecon came out, where the creator of Minecraft, Marcus Pearson, um, went up to a giant Minecraft-esque lever and actually pulled it down. Woo! Game's fully released now. Big party. Where YouTubers for Minecraft, such as the Yogscast, were greeted like celebrities. People wanted their autographs because they had done so many YouTube videos about them. It got to the point where YouTube actually had to adjust its algorithm because people were watching Minecraft videos from them so much, as well as a couple of other things. So it's really interesting to see that, nowadays groups like the Yogscast and different, YouTubers will go back to Minecraft every now and then, but ultimately they don't stick with it as their main sort of thing. So I feel like they record the game as how we play it nowadays. With every 3 months or so, I'll have a 6 week addiction to Minecraft. You know what I mean? It's kind of that same ebb and flow type thing, I guess. But as for why Minecraft, for me personally, um, I started playing the game at a very, very difficult point in my life when my mother was going through her first divorce with my father. And for a kid who went from Kansas to a little place called Bismarck, Arkansas, which isn't even a town, it's a township. So there's that piece to you. If that tells you how out in the sticks we are here. But and it I didn't really make that many friends there anyhow. It wasn't a great environment there. I hated it there, but I had Minecraft at the end of the day, and that's what I went back to, and I still play it today. Now it's less for the, oh cool, I can mine cobblestone and build things, and now it's more for, I wonder how many different computers I can build with redstone wire before Corey's computer crashes in real life.
So it's not so much
Get
for
a bet,
comfort.
love.
It's no longer comfort, but malice.
Yes. Um, it's all about malice for me.
So you started in pain, now you wish to inflict pain? Is that what you're saying?
It's a
No,
supervillain origin story.
it is. It is. It's a supervillain origin story. I am the supervillain, but no. I've been on servers, and there have been a lot of servers. Corey, I'm sure you can confirm this. That actually broke the terms of service for Minecraft, where if you pay for things, you get perks, you get extra gear, you get extra blank for joining our
Good
servers.
old
Yeah,
pay to win.
yeah, it's so dumb. But
So
I've been on servers with that too, and it's a weird thing. It's a weird game.
So I want you guys to explain something to me because I understand the concept of servers. Well, I'm in IT, right? So I know what an actual server is, and I know what game servers are for, right? Like, hey, if you want to play with your friends, you got to play on the same server, right?
Right.
It's basically providing you the same service at the same time. But I think Minecraft is one of the few popular games where you actually host your own server
Hmm.
a lot of times. So can you guys kind of dive
Yeah.
into what it means to host your own
Yes.
server and what all it involves and like what you're
So
responsible for as a host?
so I host one, and I've just got a old, probably 12-year-old Dell sitting right next to me, currently up and running a Minecraft server. For just basic vanilla, it's pretty easy. I mean, you download the Java files and run the executable. You port forward a couple of ports on your router. If your friends know your IP address, they go in their client and put it in, and it just forwards it to it. It's pretty easy. I mean, I started my own when I was like 16 and had a little, like, small to mid amount of IT knowledge, not a whole lot, and I was able to do it just fine. But people are able to add in their own plugins and modifications. That's a little harder to do on a server. I've yet to do it.
Modding a server is really tough. Modding an individual client is not that
Easy.
tough at all. Super easy. Like there's these modified launchers for the game that will actually append mods to the game before it uploads, like the AT launcher. And that's where you get ultra modded Minecraft freaks like myself that, want to push the boundaries of the game even further. And now I can go to the moon and start a bee farm and do everything I want to.
But
But
the
anyhow.
servers are very different. It's not like if you were to run, say, a TF2 server where it's pretty cut and dry as to what you're doing. Um, with Minecraft, I mean, you could have basic, the basic game. A lot of them will code it uh, their own mini games. Like there are some that are just based off of, party games. Some are role play. Um, Hunger Games was really popular. Like Battle
Oh
Royale
yeah.
some of the earliest Battle Royale titles were actually just Minecraft servers.
Hmm. Minecraft
Really?
Hunger Games.
So PUBG, um, Fortnite, Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone. I'm trying to think of other ones. I know that there's like a magic one. Do you guys think maybe they have Minecraft to thank for that?
I think so.
Half partially, yes. The other big part was Arma and the
Yeah.
Player Unknowns mod, but I mean, Minecraft Hunger Games was, I think, a huge start to a lot of people's battle royale experience. It was mine, and even
Mine.
back then I was terrible at it.
Yeah. Yeah, I never was good at PvP in the game, and I'm still not. Like the only thing that injures me when I shoot and I miss at someone with like say a crossbow in game is my pride. My pride is the only thing
Uh,
that's
I used
that's
to
really.
I used to play a Quake clone quite a bit on a Minecraft server.
Oh my
Wait,
days.
Quake on Minecraft?
Like
Minecraft.
yeah, like the arena shooter. Yeah, they had modified. They had built maps, and they had like a crossbow. It was like insta give, one shot kills, and you could bunny hop, and it was pretty impressive. One of my other favorite servers. It wasn't necessarily a game, but it was some people tried to recreate Disney World as accurately as they could using just Minecraft. Like
Yeah.
people will build entire landscapes just for the heck of it. Like I think people have recreated lands from Game of Thrones, and
They
there's a
in an
big. Oh, go ahead.
I think no, I think it was like it took 9 years, but they built the entire world for Lord of the Rings to scale,
I
didn't
think
they?
so.
Yeah.
And there's a project going on right now. It started like a week into the pandemic that people decided that they were going to recreate the Earth 1-to-1 in Minecraft, and I think the project is still going on. Uh, so it's not just, I mean, just a game, but like a tool set. It's basically, Java Legos with survival
Java
elements.
Legos.
Because I mean, it's one of the few games that, if not like the best at it, where it can really be whatever you want it to be.
Absolutely.
Others like Gary's mod, Gary's mod comes close, but I don't think it offers the same level of freedom.
Which
Mm.
what game is Gary's mod?
Gary's mod is a physics sandbox for on the Source engine. It's based off Half-Life 2. You know, things like what's the name of the game? There was a game mode that was real popular on it called Trouble in Terrorist Town. That was essentially first person Among Us with guns.
Yeah. No, he's exactly right. That's what it is. It was all about gaslighting your friends. Corey's the traitor. I'm not. It's Will. And
Uh,
stuff like so. That's.
I love the creative names that video gamers come up with when they invent
For their
stuff
game mode.
for their
yeah,
game modes and stuff like that. So what's the craziest game mode you guys have played, or maybe just the funniest one, or the one with the funniest name?
let's see.
Spleef.
Spleef.
Oh yeah,
Explain.
Spleef was fun.
Spleef. So while Corey comes up with his piece on this, I'll explain what Spleef is. So quintessentially, if you step on a pressure plate, it can activate TNT. Now, if you activate TNT and it falls, and your pressure plate's on sand, your sand will also fall. And some people have done this with shovels on servers where you can dig the ground below your friends and they would fall down. Now, if they fall down, they die. The object of the game is to not die and to be the last person standing. There's about maybe a 50 by 50 arena of you guys, and there are several layers down that you can go before you fall off the world altogether. But the problem is that there are maybe 20, maybe 30 different people competing each other against the same time. So you have to be quick. And I don't know why they call it Spleef, but it is the funniest and
I
most
haven't
insane
played.
game
Man,
mode.
you have hit my nostalgia like hard. I haven't played Spleef in years.
Uh,
It kind of sounds like Fall Guys. You know that final round on Fall Guys where
yeah,
they're jumping on the tiles. It's
yeah,
kind of
it
like the tiles
quintessentially is.
game meets like Minesweeper meets a battle royale. That's kind of what it sounds like.
That's pretty close. I think a
Yeah.
lot of things were made in that evolved into other things. I'm having trouble thinking of more. I think I accidentally ended up in a jail roleplay server once, and I had no idea what I was doing.
Bed
A,
Wars? You
a,
remember Bed Wars?
Maybe.
a jail role play game that was called Bed Wars.
No, not that.
Hmm.
No,
Not
it's
not
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 called
like
Bed.
that.
Not
Hmm.
called Bed Wars. I interjected that. You absolute
Wow.
cabbage.
I think I stayed there for about 5 minutes because I couldn't figure out how to get out. But then again, it was jail. So.
You were in the gulag.
Yeah, but Bed Wars is you have to destroy your enemy team's bed, and it's basically Skyblock. Oh wait, you don't know what Skyblock is.
No. Drop some knowledge
So
on me. What is it?
Skyblock is a version of the Minecraft game where you get one piece of ice, one lava bucket, one tree, and some dirt and some sand, as well as cactus. And you have to, from there, with Minecraft's in-game logic, you can actually build a cobblestone generator that generates infinite cobblestone with like a certain amount of water in one square versus a certain amount of lava. Um, and you're actually able to, mine that cobblestone by making a pickaxe out of the tree, and then planting the saplings you get from it, and you slowly build out from there. But that's all the world is. It's one tree, about 24 dirt blocks. That's it. And then the block of ice in your lava bucket, and that's all you got. And so it's a challenge to stay alive and to actually make something out of almost nothing. And there have been plenty of modded versions of that as well. Sky Factory 2 was a good one. Just
So
kidding, it was
do
awful.
monsters spawn on that one or?
Yes, monsters only spawn where monsters like zombies and creepers and skeletons will spawn wherever it is dark and wherever there isn't a player within a 12 block radius. So, oh man. Minecraft has a lot of game modes aside from Skyblock. So Skyblock is a form of survival, but I think I told you about this earlier where there's creative mode as well, which is basically your god. You can fly, you can build whatever you want. Pixel artists love this game mode.
I had a world on that I used to play and collaborate with, and you remember the city that I had. We were trying to build just our own city, which
Yeah,
was
and then I
fun.
started building a
We
clock.
built a McDonald's, and that was the best part was the McDonald's.
Yes. So, quick tangent to the tangent we were on before we start tangenting. Is a while back, Corey and I were on Bedrock Edition of the game, which is non-Java base. But we were on Bedrock Edition of the game, and Corey had started building this sort of city, and I was adding my clock to it, but I got kind of bored halfway through. And Kelly, Corey's wife, is building this McDonald's and builds like the perfect outside of a McDonald's restaurant. And then when I started helping, I'm like, Corey, can you come take a look at this and see if this like pixel art version of the sign looks good? And then Corey comes over and then he starts building into it. And then who else was on the server with us?
A buddy of mine named Connor was there,
Yeah,
and
Connor.
Chase might have been there too.
Chase was there. So Connor was working on his own project. He looks at the three of us working on just this tiny little McDonald's and this huge super city we're building. And so he goes over to work on the McDonald's too, by golly. And then Chase joins in. And so we basically got everybody on the server to stop doing what they were doing just to build this tiny little McDonald's that we had barely afforded.
And it was
opportunity for.
perfect.
It was perfect.
A
We got it
perfect
down
McDonald's.
That's one thing I enjoy about Minecraft's multiplayer is there's not necessarily one set objective, so you and your friends can all just be talking while one of them's getting resources, the other one's getting food, the other one's wreaking havoc on everybody else at will.
I know what you mean. I never grief, okay? Because griefing is a problem in Minecraft where people will go and coat your house in lava and now it's on fire and there are explosions and then boom, all of your hard work is done and gone.
I think you stuck a bunch of chickens in my house one time.
I
That might
don't
have been someone else. But
I legit, it wasn't me, but I am sad it wasn't me, Corey. I'm sad it wasn't me. But no, like I don't grief people's houses. Like my thing is if you break someone else's stuff, whether that's just one block of it, right, then they have the right to shoot you down and kill you on a free for all survival server where everyone gets their own
it's
house.
kind of an unspoken rule.
It is. It's kind of an unspoken rule. If you try to dig into anybody else's house, then you have the right to shoot them down. Like at one point in time, I had made a password protected door where you'd have to flip a certain combination of levers to open the door. Again, something that the developers hadn't intended, but something I created. And my sister was playing with me, and she decided to go through my window instead, just dug it out, even though I would have gladly opened the door for her, you know. And she she runs in, grabs a stack of cobblestone out of one of my chests and goes, "I need this," and walks out. And I'm like, "What are you doing? Use the door." And then I shot her down. She's like, "Why'd you shoot me? You came through the side of my house." Imagine if I
See,
had
well,
gone up to your apartment and done the exact same thing. Walk in, grab a stack, grab your milk out of your fridge. I need this, and just leave out
Well,
through a wall.
well,
I'll
see,
tell you
the thing
this
is,
right
if you're in
now.
my apartment, I can shoot you, but if you're walking out and I shoot you in the back, then I'm in trouble.
Yeah, exactly.
So you guys have like real world yet anarchistic rules in your Minecraft server.
Anarcho-syndicalist commune.
Sometimes you might see anarchy. Sometimes you might even see a form of communism at the very beginning where everybody shares resources.
Yeah,
But
that's
then as people start to advance a little bit, it starts to get more capitalistic and it succeeds.
yeah, it does. That's how you do
Communism only works in Minecraft and it doesn't work that well, but I digress.
it.
Yeah. So you guys start off
Right.
like Russia, but quickly turn into America.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
it works. It works much better.
Think Prussia in the 13th century trying to install syndicalism. There you go.
Oh, yes. Okay, I understand now.
I'm kidding.
Yeah,
I'm just
perfect
you know.
sense.
But no,
As I
it's-
sit here with my Magusta face, like, yeah, I have no idea what you just said.
I,
meant.
I I know some of those words.
yeah. So
Some of them.
it's anyway. So Minecraft is absolutely fantastic. There are adventure maps. There are horror maps that people will make. The world downloads. Yeah, like actual, you download the resource pack so things will look a certain way in game, and then you download the world onto your PC into the worlds folder, into the saves folder, and then you start up that world, and as soon as you start it up, your game mode switches to survival. You hit a pressure plate which sends off commands to the world, to the server itself, that's to the runtime environment, and then you start a horror game.
Huh.
Yeah, there are all kinds of games in Minecraft, and that's part of the reason why I like it so much. But yeah,
Yeah, it's not just one game that when you buy it, you're getting, tens of hundreds of.
that's why Ralf should buy the full edition. Sorry, what?
You know what?
But
you guys are kind of convincing me right now that I should give it like a fair shake.
I
That would be-
I mean, it's like $30, I think, and it's definitely one of the best $30 I ever spent.
Yeah, man, I have.
It's one of those things like we played a lot during the first quarter of the pandemic. We were on like I remember
Yeah.
spending probably about 5 hours one Saturday night on that server with everybody. And if you've got responsibilities you need to take care of, do those first because they're not gonna get done once you start really getting into the world.
Just one more block. You'll be saying that in no more time. Just one more block. I'll place down just one more block. That's
So-
how it is.
So what's the most ambitious Minecraft project that you guys have worked on?
Oh,
That I've worked on.
I mean, the McDonald's seemed pretty ambitious.
It
but-
was.
I had a
really
server
quaint.
as a teenager that it was like three of us that took down. There's a final boss that you can take fight, and
in Dragon.
it took us a lot of time to get to that. I put hours and hours into that world, and we eventually did it. We had one cheat enabled where we kept if you die in game, you lose your inventory, and it all stays in a spot. You can go get it, assuming it's not destroyed by other matter. But we had the cheat enabled that let you keep it just because it was too frustrating otherwise.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
I feel that. So I started out on ambitious projects. Of course, I've never, built the life-size model of the Enterprise scale 1:1 as I've seen online. But I mean, probably my biggest and most ambitious project I ever did probably wouldn't be the huge castle that I built. That was like hundreds and hundreds of blocks in diameter and whatnot. But it was probably the first time I built a digital clock in the game. And I've done it twice so far. The third time was interrupted because Cory was like, okay, Will. But no, So when I built my first digital clock, the numbers for it were spaced out. Like this one was over here, and this one was several miles in this direction, because, you know, these are just electric wires. There are no such things as microcontrollers in Minecraft, like there would be in IT, and you get that, Raf, you do. So you have to make the logic gates yourself. And so the first one I built was ginormous, and it lagged my computer so much that I had to switch the render distance down all the way. So I couldn't see anything, but it worked, and it worked well. And it was really good. And the second one I built, I started out by making the numbers right beside each other in a corner, and that's how I went for it. And that turned out pretty well. But that's probably the most ambitious thing I've ever done. Of course, I've seen people do it in a lot less space than I have. Not in the same way I have, but certainly in interesting ways.
What made you choose a clock?
So it was an idea I had with one of my automated farms, and it started out the exact same way every automated farm started out. How lazy can I get playing this game so that I can be lazy in real life? And it started out with a daylight and nighttime counter that I had made for a farm. So it takes about 10 Minecraft days and nights for crops to grow. So I had an aggregator circuit and a daylight detector and a bud switch on it that would basically ping the aggregator once more every single time a day or night had passed. And when it got to 10, the crops would then harvest. And that made me think. I was thinking, okay, so I know I can build a clock, or not a clock. I know I can build a timer with redstone. You just have to do the math in your head for how many seconds equals how many in-game ticks. And I was like, okay, so I know I can make a clock or a timer for 60 seconds. And I was like, what if I hooked that up to an aggregator, and then I hooked it up to something else that would represent what time it is? And so then I got to researching about what people would do and how people would make 7-segment displays. So then I got that 1-minute timer, right? I hooked it up to an aggregator, and then I hooked that up to the 7-segment display, and then every minute would pass, it would add another number onto the face. And I was thinking, wait a second, I could make a digital clock out of this. I just have to get my phone here and then hit the button to start the timer, and then boom, it's synced up and it's ready to go, and it keeps real time. And it did. But yeah, that was
Hey,
the most ambitious
hey, Will,
project.
I have a like a much more efficient way of, getting time.
Do you wanna fight me? Because I know what you're about to. Gosh dang it, he's pulling out his cell phone. Yes, I know, you absolute
I
cabbage.
I love the fact that your background is like an old school Windows logo.
Oh, well, I was messing around with the themes, so like, I don't. Oh wait, you can't see it. Like some of the old
Oh,
some of the
that's
old
so
icons.
cool. Oh, that's
Gotcha.
great for you. Yeah, he's got that
You know,
Windows XP look on his iPhone. That's cool.
you know what blows my mind though? That a game that's because like I wanted to check the rating while you were explaining that because I'm like a game that's rated uh, E for everyone over 10 years old can be that complex.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, yeah. It can be as complex or as not complex as you want it to
yeah.
be.
Will does all that, and at the same time, when he was building his clock, I was just like, you
Big
know,
air.
what?
I said all that. Big air quotes. Will does all that.
Yeah, I'm just normally, I'm like building like just a square building. I'm like, hey, look, it's Dunder Mifflin.
And then I'll be like, my robot army is ready to conquer this world.
Like
Um,
Will just
I
built
have
like a
potatoes.
freaking like a Mozart level composition in freaking Minecraft, and then you're like,
Yeah,
"Here's Thunder Mifflin," and I'd go running that way. I'd be like, "Yes."
so I kid you not. Speaking of Mozart, that's something else people do. There are things in the game called note blocks. Corey, have you ever been on one of these maps or seen
I
them on YouTube?
I think I've seen some, but I haven't ever put the time into messing with them.
So I so there's these note blocks where it's only a quarter note that you can play, and you can set the tone of that quarter note by clicking on the block, and changing what instrument plays is based on whatever block the note block is standing on top of. And people have put in, like, there are on Spotify right now, there are note block versions of pop songs, like right now.
Huh.
I'm not kidding. People will actually put the time in to do huge compositions like that and just time it perfectly with redstone wire. And it's crazy to me. I do not have that level of, okay, I have a level of patience that's required to build crazy complicated things out of redstone, but I don't have the patience to go, okay, note block number 5,800. It's too tedious. Does
I
that
mean,
make sense?
it takes enough time to program like in a piano roll and an audio editor as it is. So to do that, I mean,
Yeah,
uh,
it's just nuts.
That's pretty cool. So it's kind of almost like an infinite game.
It
oh,
is.
easily.
Gotcha.
Yeah. And the map fully generated is like several times the size of Jupiter or something like
I
that.
mean, it might sound cliche, but the game's only real limits is somebody's imagination. I mean, Will has shown that it doesn't matter what the developers intended; people are going to do stuff. And
I feel
I say that in the
pretty
best of
like
way. I say that in the best of ways.
mm-hmm.
People
Sure
are
you
able
are.
to think. It's thinking outside the box to like it. I mean, to the max.
Ha ha ha, the box. We get it. It's a game made from cubes. And
I didn't even intend that pun. But
yes,
hey,
it,
so that's on you.
Okay, I'm gonna
no.
challenge you. Can you make a sphere?
In Minecraft
Oh, yeah.
Not with mods.
with mods, yeah. So
This is
you can make
heresy.
a pixelated one. Um, if you want, you can. There are generators online, voxel generators that you can generate spheres and domes, and you can put that in Minecraft however you want. But no, there are with mods you can do just about anything. And ultra modded Minecraft is my favorite part of the game, and it's a
It's
rabbit hole that even I'm scared to go
it's too
down
daunting for me.
for the
I
same
barely
reason.
under. Oh, go ahead.
Pardon me, for the same reason that I'm too scared to go into Destiny too much because I would get sucked in,
Destiny
right?
is a life suck. It really
It
is.
is. It really is. So
I had to get out of Destiny.
same,
Me too.
same. So I for the same reason, like I'll play ultramodded every now and then, but ultramodded Minecraft where you can build real computers and actual microcontrollers and actually have pipes that take items, where you can program robots in C, and I'm not actually kidding. There are mods for that. It's called Computercraft. Or you can, go to the moon and become a witch or whatever. I'm like, no, it's too much. Take it easy. I mean, I would do all that and I would become an expert in that, but that would be the only thing I could have expertise in. And I've got to have, PHP coding skills for Ralf and his things at work, which will not be mentioned for the benefit of this podcast. But anyhow,
No.
that's
A lot of times Will likes to joke either the code will be executed or you will be executed.
that's the mentality. Either the code will be executed correctly, or you will be executed correctly.
No, but I am like at most I am his mentor. I'm not
That's
his
true.
boss or like a slave driver at that job. I'm sure
That's
Will could attest to that. But one thing that blew my mind, a conversation that we had one day, is the sheer size that you can make a Minecraft world. And could you guys kind of like break that down on how kind of like that even works and how it's even possible? Because Will kind of dove into that, and I found
So
that really interesting.
if you have you ever played? I mean, you've played games like Destiny or GTA or Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild, where there's a pre-rendered map. Somebody's already drawn everything out. Like for example, Breath of the Wild is I think it's about 72 kilometers squared. So Minecraft is procedurally generated, where instead of having a hand-drawn map, they've got a few parameters they've set, and it's depending on it chooses what it's called a seed, and I don't really know how to describe a seed, but every seed is a different way for it to generate a world,
it's a
and
number, the seed is, and it can be a negative or a positive number.
it generates something entirely new. And I want to say, like you said, it's about what while Breath of the Wild is 72 square kilometers, a Minecraft world is roughly the size of Jupiter and a half.
Yes. Yes,
Uh, but
it's larger than Jupiter is
it
IRL.
also it doesn't render that whole thing when you create the world. It will do a select amount, And as you travel further, it will render more and more as needed. That way, you don't have a 80 gig folder on your computer of one
Those
file.
Yeah, those things are called chunks, and I explained that to you, I think, at work, Ref, where I think it's a 16 by 16 square all the way down to the bottom of the world, will be loaded in the one you're standing in and the ones your friends are standing in, as well as those surrounding chunks, so you can see outside of it. Um, and that's how the world loads in and stays loaded in and doesn't crash your PC. But no, that's kind of the way how it works there.
And theoretically, how big could a world be?
Let's see. Let me do a quick Google search on
It's
something.
it's
But
no, I searched this once. Gosh, I can't remember. I can't remember.
I know you said
well,
that it was bigger than the Earth,
It's larger than Jupiter,
larger
IRL.
than Jupiter.
Yes. And Jupiter can fit like 60 something Earths in it. So there's that for you.
Okay. Well, I mean that's I think pretty mind-boggling
so
right there.
here I've got a. This is from
The actual
2015,
number.
so I don't know if it's been changed since 2015. But
Not
while
really.
Breath of the Wild is 72 square kilometers, Minecraft is roughly 500 million.
Wow. That
Yeah.
Yeah,
that blows my
it's
mind.
one of the largest, if not the. Well, I guess it'd probably be the second largest game.
What would be the
Yeah.
what would be the first largest?
No Man's Sky, I think, has it beat.
Oh, because it's infinitely generated, that right? I think that was
Right.
the
Yeah,
whole
it's
lore
basic.
of it.
Yeah, it's like a whole galaxy. Elite Dangerous might also be close, which is a 1-to-1 galaxy, I think. But when it comes to just normal landmass, like traditional games, Minecraft is one of.
Yeah, and so there used to be different ways how the border, like, because you could technically fly out to the world border, to where you couldn't go forward anymore, because it is kind of just a square, flat surface, right?
Yeah, it's not a
Um,
sphere. It doesn't. You don't wrap back around. It is
yeah,
flat Earth.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is, and I know what Matt Pat says on YouTube. Well, gravity works, so it must be a sphere. No, it's not. Okay, if anything, you can technically find ways in game to generate infinite electricity, and energy cannot be created nor can it be destroyed, which means that it violates some of the laws of physics as we understand them. Which means the only true way that it can be in Minecraft, that Minecraft could exist in the real world, is if it were in per se a singularity, something we just don't know what the heck it is yet, totally.
Hey,
And
Will.
anyway,
In other words, it's a video game?
Yeah.
in other
Nice.
words, Scotch.
Which what's interesting too is if you make a lamp in game, it uses real world electricity.
Oh, actually, yeah,
If you
it
think
does.
about it,
It
if you
really
think
does.
about it, that makes
Yeah,
me so mad.
that's
It
funny.
does.
It draws from the fourth dimension. Think
Yeah, it
about
does.
it. We are the fourth dimension for Minecraft. Minecraft, if those are little pixel characters that thought that they were real, they're just little computer generated, people controlled by human gods.
So if I'm like in The Sims, whoever's controlling me constantly cancels my action because I have no idea what I'm doing half the time.
I'm pretty sure I'm an NPC at best. We'll see. Just
Yeah.
programmed
How
to
many
keep chugging forward.
how many side quests do you give people at work? Oh my gosh, that's all you do, Raf.
At
That's all
least
you do.
at least one podcast, and if you work where I work, quizzes. That's about it.
Yeah, yeah, but that's great. Yeah,
Hey,
Minecraft is an absolutely amazing game.
don't pickpocket him and see what kind of loot it has. It'll land you in jail.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you guys two things that I knew about Minecraft before I ever played Minecraft, and the reason why I ever played Minecraft to begin with. And I only played it like once. Like I played Classic for like 5 minutes on my own, and I was like, okay, I guess so. But I was really curious about Minecraft because I read an article on The Verge, and I think it came out in 2014. And I'm just gonna read a little bit to you. Minecraft creator Marcus Notch Person became ludicrously wealthy after Microsoft bought the game for $2.5 billion.
Mm-hmm.
And of
Yep.
this week, he is now the owner of a 70 million mega mansion in Beverly Hills, California. And according to Curbed, it was expected to be bought by Beyonce and Jay-Z, but they were outbid by this dude that created a video game in his basement.
What a freaking champion, man.
Dude, okay,
Oh my gosh.
the level of celebrity and influence that Jay-Z have in this world is ridiculous. And the fact that a
Mm,
dude that created something in his basement outbid them for something is pretty darn impressive to me. So
Yeah.
I had to find out what this creation was. And that's kind of what made me interested at all in Minecraft, or what brought it to like the forefront of my brain, like, huh, this is a thing that actually matters in the world.
yeah. So, and I think we talked about this previous to this podcast. If I might butt in here, not Marcus Notch Pearson made a lot of appearances in the game's pop culture as well. Not just, not in the same way Todd Howard appears in
Mm-hmm.
the pop culture of Skyrim. It just works, and the horse is giving out and stuff, and you're like, oh well, it's glitching again. What broke it? Was it the 4K mod? And then base Skyrim's like, no, no, I broke it. But but no, it's Marcus Pearson. Like, people started calling enchanted golden apples notch apples because he was the god of Minecraft. So he kind of had this role in a different way with the game's pop culture itself, but the guy himself wasn't always so fortunate. And I think I've talked to Cory about this as well. Like, when he started out, his a lot of his relatives in this he started out with a Commodore as his computer, and about that time, a lot of his relatives had like gone into crime or committed suicide. He came from a rough background, right? Like, he promised his family to do a helicopter ride with them one day to be able to pay for it. After the first Minecon, when Minecraft was officially released in 2011, his father committed suicide shortly after that helicopter ride. Like, this guy's life was real, real, real tough. And to top it off, on top of all of this, the Swedish government actually thought he was a criminal, straight up, because he was getting thousands and thousands of dollars in his account overnight, every single night when Minecraft started picking up in popularity. So the Swedish government put a freeze on his account and went and interviewed him. And there's some stories that say that he did get brought into an actual interrogation room, and some that didn't. But it took like several months, but they realized that he had just developed a really successful game, that every time Sweden went to nighttime, America went to daytime, and people were buying it in America. So that's kind of the reason why. But yeah,
So,
really
so
crazy.
I got this is what Swedish.
Yeah, Swedish.
So what fascinated me? A Swedish interrogation room has to be like the most comfortable place in the world. Like, would you like some tea? When he's like in like a
Yeah,
what's the word I'm looking for? Like a
Plush.
Tempur-Pedic mattress. Yeah, it's just
orthopedic mattress. Yeah, but so the thing is that this guy had a super rough life, but he took it by the horns, and his friends were developing a game in their basement. This is where Minecraft first started. He called it Cave Game. He didn't call it Minecraft. His friends and him were coding games in their basements and joking, and probably doing what I'm doing now, which is drinking. They were just doing stuff, and then he created Cave Game while they were making another game called Dwarf Fortress, which is actually super, super popular.
oh,
Uh,
really?
yes, a little known fact. So he was actually a part of that project, as well as Miner, which is a game that I don't think ever took off in a big way. But he started developing Minecraft, and one of his friends, Jens Bergens, and him, as well as one of their other friends, whose online moniker was Dinnerbone, decided to create a company based around this game because, Marcus, their friend, was getting a lot of money from it. And so they decided to choose the Swedish word for thingabob, or the Swedish word for whatchamacallit, right? That sort of filler word, Mojang. And now Mojang Studios is the game that makes Minecraft and also makes Cobalt, but now it's owned by Microsoft, so now it just makes Minecraft. Um,
So
and doesn't
so
make
if I'm
other.
ever talking to a Swedish girl, I could be like Mojang, Mojang, like trying to think of something like
Raf, if you ever get the chance to flirt with a Swedish girl, I don't, which I think is very rare. I think you absolutely should use that word. Absolutely.
Mojang,
That's oh
Mojang.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
mean, think about a girl coming over here and not really knowing English very well, and she's like, "What you call?" Like you would be, it would completely throw me off.
Yeah, it
Isn't
it
that the
would
goal? Isn't that the goal? Throw them off,
for
trick
for
them,
English.
trick
Yeah,
them,
absolutely.
trick them
You
into
know.
thinking you're awesome, and then just be like, I'm just a video
Oh.
game weeb. That's it.
But yeah, Marcus Pearson started out as this fedora-wearing neckbeard who programmed a game. I'm not kidding.
And
You can
now
look up early pictures of him.
but I mean,
That's
now
what
isn't he just a rich neckbeard?
Yeah, now he's a rich record. Yeah. Bless him. He's a good lad.
Man,
But now
if it
Yins
makes me
takes
rich,
over.
I'd rock a neck beard, no problem. Actually, I think
Yeah,
I kind of got a little. I think I got one going right now, but we won't talk. We won't dive more into that.
yeah, it's a funny thing, the development of this game and the rumors and myths that has happened in this game. Corey, do you remember Herobrine?
I do. There was an urban legend that there would be like an NPC that looked like yours but was evil, and people would quote unquote spot him in their world, and it became like a huge urban legend. And
It did.
Mojang caught on to it, and then if you look in every single patch note of updates, it'll like the last one will say removed Herobrine.
Up till about this last version, up till the Nether update, the big one that they did last time, um, they stopped putting in remove Herobrine,
Really?
which got a lot of people freaked out to like, wait a minute, what the heck you mean now, man? Like you've been putting this up until now, but at the end of their footnotes, they would always put removed Herobrine.
Well,
And so
if it's the Nether update,
and then the Nether in Minecraft is like the hell update of the world. So
well, exactly. So
the
Story
where does
seed there
Herobrine come
somewhere.
from?
exactly. So that's kind of the story behind this, though. So the first creature ever added to Minecraft was a clone of yourself. It was just an NPC kind of character that would dance around. Now, during the Halloween update, which is the one they added the Nether in first, the creature, the default look of the character, right? That monster that was no longer spawning in the game by that point naturally got white eyes, and that's where the Herobrine met legends. And you can look it up right now, but that's where kind of the legend started. And the ID for that creature, if you go into the console commands for a server, is still there. But it doesn't summon anything if you try to summon it forth with the /summon command. So that's kind of where people have gotten this sort of thing off of it, and people are like, "Oh, he's not his brother," or lore, and I'm like, "No, stop! It's just programmers trying to mess with you, man." It's a fascinating concept. It got kind of like Bigfoot in GTA 3, was it? GTA. Which game was Bigfoot supposedly in of the Grand Theft Auto series?
I don't know. I was homeschooled.
I
that does not excuse you for not playing GTA 3, and I'm just joking. But that's actually a pretty cool lore. So since there's actually like a little bit of lore behind the game, I'm gonna ask you guys a really controversial question. Is
Okay.
there ever going to be a live action movie version of Minecraft? And if so, who will play the main characters?
Well, there was a movie rumored for a while, and I think it's got stuck in development hell.
I think you're right. Yeah,
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously Channing Tatum is Steve.
obviously.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. Either him or Michael Cera.
Okay, so
Okay,
here's my
the real question is which actor and actress in Hollywood have the blockiest heads? That's the real question.
dang.
Vin Diesel.
Eh,
Hey, don't
could
talk
he
about
play
my
Steve?
man like that.
Hey, now it's time to build before the creepers come by. No, it's so I think that you're on the right track with the roles, but at the end of the game, when you go into the end portal, there's these sort of credits that come up, and it's supposed to be two gods, and they are like talking to one another, and that's where another bit of the lore comes from. But I think that both of those gods, one of them needs to be played by David Attenborough talking to Morgan Freeman, and
So
that.
mine would be Morgan Freeman and oh my god, I just had his name in the tip of my tongue. Liam Neeson.
Mm.
Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
What
Dwayne
So
about
Johnson
what
can
if you had
play
like
Nigel.
opposites, where you had like your calm, collected guy like Liam Neeson, but then you get Gilbert Gottfried as like chaos?
That could be cool. Yeah, that could be real cool. Oh man, it's too bad that Notch got his name removed from the credits for being a jerk on Twitter, but anyway.
Yeah, I did. Okay, so I am not a person that really stays up on current events because the world is sad. and
Yeah.
and I
Yes.
like happy things. So I tend to focus on positive things. So if we mention somebody in a good way that's been canceled, I'm sorry, but he definitely accomplished a lot, but I did read a little bit that there is some controversy behind him because of maybe some political and other thoughts that may
I mean,
have had.
yeah, he wasn't. I mean, he was essentially a neckbeard with a lot of attention,
Yeah.
and neckbeards will. I mean, if you follow the stereotype, they will say things that maybe shouldn't have been said.
Ah, ah.
He's
But yeah.
he's got lots of intelligence in one area, which would be development, but other things maybe not so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You know what I didn't like in terms of current events and trends? Every time they do a Minecon Earth now, which is a virtual Minecon, they did it for coronavirus.
right.
Every time they've done a Minecon ever since he left the development of Minecraft, they've started voting on things to add to the game. Do you want this creature to be added to the game, or do you want this creature? And the last one that they voted in was phantoms for some weird reason, which is if you stay awake for more than 3 days in Minecraft and don't go to sleep, things will spawn at night that can fly, and they're annoying, and they're insane, and they're dumb. I don't know why
Oh,
you know what I'm talking about,
the
right, Corey?
they look like villagers almost, like they're little.
No, well they're little. They look like manta rays almost, and they fly in the sky.
Oh, those things are
Those things.
those things scare the crap out of me.
They are because they don't make any noise until they attack you, and then you realize that they're there, and it's just annoying. Okay, so they voted in those last time. This last time around, though,
It's scary. I like them.
I like them too, generally speaking, but they're super annoying. Because I develop redstone stuff, so I stay awake for days in Minecraft working on my machines, and it's dumb when there's like 50 of these things in the sky just eyeing me down, and I'm like, go away and let me build stuff. But
Well,
anyway.
I'll tell you from personal experience as somebody that has stayed awake for more than 48 hours and has driven in this state. Little things will pop out at you at night while you're driving. So
I
it's pretty accurate to the real world.
Same. Same. I have also done that before. And I've also hallucinated while doing that before. But anyhow,
Corey's like, you monsters. Like, why would you do that to yourselves?
No, I fell asleep at like 9 o'clock last night. So
yeah. So last time they asked whether you wanted a bloom, a flower cow, right? Or because they have mushroom cows in Minecraft, they're called mushrooms, and they're adorable. And
Mushrooms?
yes, you can milk them for mushroom stew, and it's amazing. But
I hit my mic. Does the world turn like crazy colors and like do like magical
no.
friends start coming
So
out?
here's the thing, though. You can actually craft what's called suspicious stew if you use certain mushrooms and certain flowers, and you can give yourself crazy spinning effects like that by eating certain suspicious stews, or you could give
You know what?
yourself jump boost for like
they
5
should
seconds.
they should collaborate with Bethesda and have you drink one, and then you fall asleep and you wake up.
Like
Hey,
over to
you're
Skyrim.
finally awake. You were trying to cross the border.
Oh, okay. So, I'm glad you mentioned Skyrim right now because that reminded me of the argument me and Will had at work. Is which one's more of a meme game, Minecraft or Skyrim?
Minecraft is because they voted in glow squids, which is the dumbest thing, instead of
I would
flower.
say Minecraft because you had the arrow to the knee
Yeah.
and eating gratuitous amounts of cheese to heal yourself. But I
So
mean,
it
I feel like
just works.
I feel like Minecraft is probably more of a meme game. Uh,
I So I'm a little divided on this. I feel like Minecraft is a bit of a meme game, yes, but I think Skyrim is more of the meme game. Like, if you look at certain pixels of Skyrim during the startup process in a certain order, and you have to do it exactly, you have to like download the macro, they have it. But if you do it, the guy who gets decapitated just before you're supposed to in the beginning of the game, after he gets decapitated, he'll stand up, grab a sword, and go, "Death to the Empire!" headless and run off
oh wait,
camera.
yeah, I take that back. You're right. Yeah, I mean,
See,
the
like
the mods that have been made for Skyrim are much more meme worthy than Minecraft's. Because
the
I mean,
YOLO swag dragon, end of
yeah,
story.
the
Bye.
Macho Man Randy Savage dragon. I had a mod
Yes.
that made the shields like SpongeBob characters, like painted on it. Um,
Yeah, Skyrim has a lot more memes in it. Like Minecraft has some memes in it. There are some meme mods you can get, but there are not
they don't
nearly as
compare.
many. Yeah, they don't compare to Skyrim's meme mods,
Uh,
as well as the memes that are made about each game. Like, and there was this little bit, and I actually wanted to talk about this real quick, Corey, if you'll let me. There was this little bit after 2011, between 2011 and 2015, Minecraft started losing popularity. Oh, Minecraft's dumb. People started down talking it. And now, because of nostalgia, people have picked it up again. They're like, actually, it was a good game. And people were like, yeah, I started playing it again, even though a couple years back I said that I hated it and stuff. And I'm like, listen, there are some of us, like myself, that never left the game. And you know what? Memes. Memes are the result of this.
but like
Memes
it's
are the
it's kind of
opiate of the masses.
it's kind of interesting though because whenever a phenomenon comes along, the generation who's right out of it, like the demographic will bash it because they're like, oh, my thing's better. Pokemon,
Right.
Pokemon was better. People will bash on,
Back in
Minecraft.
my day, we
Uh,
had Pokemon cards, and
but
we
then you add,
use our cellular phones.
people hate on Fortnite, and
Oh yeah. Yeah.
but it'll happen to whatever is popular. Among Us is now, actually.
Really?
Actually, Among Us started to die off, and now it's the literal stock market. So that's the new game. But
The stock is sus. Vote for it.
um, but Minecraft got a lot of undeserved, attention because of, outliers. Kind of, there was definitely like you can look up like Minecon cringe compilations and find a lot of terror.
Yeah. Yeah.
But any big fan base is gonna
Minecraft
have that.
parodies. Oh man, Minecraft parodies. There was this entire era of cringe and good stuff with my it was a mix because Minecraft parodies are generally funny and cringy, but then there are like a couple of them that are like the people who make Minecraft parodies make an original song and it's actually really cool and you're like, "Oh, cool." So it's like finding the diamond in
Yeah,
the rough, you know what I
yeah,
mean?
something that made the game unique was all the fan-made creations. It was unlike, lots of big communities have a lot of fan art and creations, but Minecraft is probably the most active. For example, do you know the Coldplay song "Viva La Vida"?
Right.
I just
Well,
got that Minecraft parody
there was a parody of it called Fallen Kingdom, and had a similar, like, I don't remember the lyrics, but it had a similar theme. But if I remember right, the Minecraft parody song had more views than the actual
The
music
actual
video.
song did, yeah. As well as
The-
digging Minecraft style.
yeah, I remember that one. Unfortunately, that one.
Which I still argue that music video is genius. I'm talking about the original one. I have not
Gangnam
seen.
Style.
Yeah, Gangnam Style. I mean, if you want to blow up, literally become a real life meme and make a music video. That's so outlandish. Just
Um, Speaking of, I mean, becoming like that's how Nick Cage became popular again. So I watched a movie with him that it came out last night called Willy's Wonderland, and it's basically Nick Cage being trapped in a haunted Chuck E. Cheese and beating the crap out of the animatronics. That's the movie.
It's a Five Nights at Freddy's thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
though?
it's essentially it's derivative, but yeah, it was Nick Cage at his Nick Cageiest.
Dude,
That's
I hope one day I find a mega fan of Nicolas Cage that wants to do an episode, because that would be hilarious.
Nicolas Cage.
I may not be a mega fan.
Oh no, here we go. You did it, Raf. This is your fault. He's pulling out the picture of Nicolas Cage on a pillow, and there it is. Yep. Yeah.
That's a beautiful pillow, bro. I
Thank
love
you.
it. I love it.
It was actually a gift from my mom.
You know what? When parents start encouraging trolling, and growing thick skin, the world is going to be a better place. So your mom is a first step towards a better world because she gave you that Nicolas Cage pillow.
Well, thank you.
You know, and I hate to try to steer us back to another tangent. But as for Minecraft now, so speaking of parenthood with that, when I was a kid, there was no such thing as Minecraft merch, and it was only available in Sweden, and it was like crazy expensive, and it was only on the Jinx web store. And my mother, bless her heart, made me some of my Minecraft merch as a kid growing up.
Please
And it
tell
was-
me, please tell me you have some of that laying around right now.
I don't have some of that laying around
You
right now
are
on the floor.
such a liar.
I don't.
It's
not-
on
not-
your bed. You cuddle up with it at night when you go to sleep.
I
Go
really,
grab
that's
it.
really sweet of her.
My
Like,
mother
that makes me happy.
Yeah, my mother made creeper curtains and like a creeper pillowcase and stuff, and I
That's
loved
awesome.
it.
I was
But
joking when I
now-
said it's on your bed, but it really might be if it's a
It's
creeper
not.
pillow.
It's not right now. It's in storage. But that's the thing.
Hey,
It's
well,
not-
I'm glad you still have it. Like,
I still have it. But here's the thing. I'm walking through Walmart the other day, right? And I'm looking around, and I see this, and it says Minecraft on it, but it's not the game, and it's not in the electronics section. So I look back at it, and it's like a Hydro Flask, but it's smaller for like kids. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat, I guess. And then I look in my Walmart has so much Minecraft merch now, and I'm like, well, you spoiled kids. Back in my day, we didn't have any of this crap. We had to make our own Minecraft merch. You know what I
Back in
mean?
my
But
day, we had to scour the scourges of the internet to find merchandise for what we loved.
you know what's
it
kind of
was-
strange too
it's
is there's actually
crazy.
there's published fan fiction of the game
Oh,
that's like
Don't just
Aw.
it's
There's
gotten to
also-
it's gotten to
Yeah.
that point.
it's gotten beyond that point because you see memes about it on iFunny and Reddit, but there is adult films with that involve Minecraft now. So yeah, it's just depressing. It's just
Okay,
sad.
Before I have to make this podcast rated M for mature, I think
We'll back off from that topic.
we'll
but
back off from that.
There,
topic.
I got this box right
It's-
here.
well, I
I'm gonna
mean,
put it over here and
it's-
leave it there for you.
If
to
you're
view.
familiar with the rules of the internet, unfortunately, Rule 34 exists, where if something
Exactly.
exists, people are going to make adult content of said thing. And I
Yeah.
think Rule 35 is if it doesn't exist, it will.
Yeah.
That's true. That's what the internet is. It's one big troll,
Yep.
and parody. But we digress. Okay, so another question for you guys: when you're not playing Minecraft, what are you playing?
Playing games with your mama's heart.
Oh,
I play a lot of single player games, and so I've been playing on my Switch a lot. I just finished Age of Calamity, the Breath of the Wild prequel.
nice.
Phenomenal. I'm finishing up Resident Evil 4 probably this evening.
Oh,
Nice.
that's a classic, bro.
It's
Resident
been
Evil
good.
4.
It's very intense. But no, I'm playing through on the Wii, and the motion controls actually work really well.
nice.
Nice.
Uh,
So for me though, I just got Star Wars Battlefront 2 for the PlayStation 4. Yes, thank you, Corey, for giving that heart sign to
So
all
the-
you viewers at Spotify that can't see.
The
but
glitchiest
no.
game because it went from 2,000 users to like 2 million users overnight.
I really enjoy it though. I really do. It reminds me of the no, flying is nothing like it was.
It's tough.
It's tough, man. It's nothing like it was in the original EA Star Wars Battlefront game. It's nothing like it was in the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 by LucasArts. And they launched the game so poorly that
It
Disney
was
straight up
EA at
said,
its worst.
yeah, it was EA at its worst. Disney straight up said, yeah, play 10,000 hours of the game or pay $2.99 and unlock Darth Vader. That's sick. You're not developing another Star Wars game again.
Yeah,
And they
EA
actually
said
revoked EA's license.
EA mentioned the sense of progression about the hours and hours to unlock a character, and it became the most downvoted Reddit comment in all of history.
Wasn't the comment because it leads to a more rewarding experience?
Yeah, it's like because it gives players a sense of progression, reward and progression. But Disney revoked EA's exclusivity deal, which I'm happy about.
I love
Yeah,
EA's response to it though.
games.
They were like, "Oh, you want to go with Ubisoft? Free game for the world."
But like, I mean, it's had a huge redemption arc though. From becoming EA at its worst, it was a complete 180. The only thing you can purchase with real money is cosmetics that do nothing. Like they don't do anything, and you can earn tons of them in game.
Yeah.
And I mean, when it comes to that kind of microtransaction, I don't care if they put thousands of them in. It doesn't affect the game.
Right.
And it's great now. So I mean, credit where credit is due.
Yeah, I think the same thing with Corey's there. So I play a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2. Additionally, when I'm not playing that game, I have played Assassin's Creed games. I play Syndicate a lot. Sometimes I play Little Big Planet, which was another good game. But recently, 90% of what I've been playing has been Star Wars Battlefront, and that's also because I get it from my childhood. There's the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 games. I mean, come on. That was a good game.
Both wonderful.
Dude, I was a kid when Phantom Menace came out, and I don't care what anyone says. I love the prequels. I love all three of them. I don't care what anyone says.
They have parts of them that are great. There were some, my wife and I watched Revenge of the Sith a few months ago, again, and it holds up.
Dude, best lightsaber fights in any of the Star Wars movie is Revenge of the Sith.
Revenge of the Sith is phenomenal.
Dude, to quote Kanye West, they're dope. All right. I don't know if you guys saw Kanye West's interview with Joe Rogan, but he adamantly will defend the prequels, and he says Revenge of the Sith is dope. So like,
it really is. Like it holds up well. Phantom Menace and Attack of the Clones have things about them that I enjoy, but other things that I don't. But Revenge of the Sith overall is a fantastic movie.
Star Wars The Clone Wars did pretty good too. And then there's been, just to bring this 360, there's been Star Wars maps made in Minecraft. There are Star Wars resource packs. There are Star Wars texture packs. There are Star Wars mods. I've actually played with one of them before.
Star Wars mods for games are always the best mods, period.
Well, I have one question. Do the mods have lightsabers? Because we all know it's all about the lightsabers.
Yeah, of course.
Right.
The mod for Minecraft has lightsabers, but So Corey, I will match your Star Wars mod for Minecraft though with a funnel thing called Buildcraft. Buildcraft is a mod based on automation, and I know that's kind of my alley, but here's the thing. Mod packs, as far as mod pack making goes, they all wait to everybody online that makes mods will wait for Buildcraft to update to a certain edition of the game, like 1.16, like it is right now, and they're working on the cave update. But Buildcraft is the mod. Like as soon as Buildcraft is compatible with XYZ version, your mods also better be compatible. Like even the Star Wars mod to a degree. Buildcraft is all about pipes and automated crafting and automated all this and that, and it can get as complicated as you like, and you can program a robot in it if you really want to with the extension mod version. And so I'd say Buildcraft is the more influential mod as far as the modding community goes, but I do like the Star Wars mod more, and Mechanism is a close second. But Like so this is I hate to quote memes. Actually, I don't hate to quote memes. I love to quote memes. This is brilliant, right?
But I like this.
But I like this, right? You know what I mean? It's I hate to do that, but it is what it is. And I hate to quote Todd Howard, but it just works. You know what I mean? So it's that
Corey,
catch
just so
22.
you know, he tells that to every single customer that
At work.
he's
just
on a call
works.
with. Yeah, that it just
Yes,
works.
well,
He's like,
I
this
do
is our
that to
product.
11.
It just works.
And it
And you
makes
know,
them
you,
laugh.
No, I know. I think they're laughing at the voice and the joke, but I don't think 90% of our customers know who Tom Howard is.
One of them did. A couple
Oh,
of them have.
no. Okay, so I'll
I'm
tell you
jealous
this
because
about the IT crowd. You have some straight up gaming fiends. Okay, you would be surprised how many IT people have Origin or
Beautiful.
Steam running on their servers. I think one of the best ones. I went on this guy's like IT desk, and if he freaking had a Nier Automata background on the desktop of the server, and I was just like, yes,
the
this
server,
guy.
not his client machine,
No,
but
he did not care, bro. He was like, "This is the company server, and this is what we're doing."
near. Wow.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm gonna just say this: that's not the most surprising thing I found some on somebody's desktop.
Oh, I'm
Oh
sure.
Okay.
I'm
God.
sure.
Uh,
I've heard the stories.
yeah, I mean, the first week, we won't get into it,
We should
because
because
hopefully nobody
on-
ever discovers what where we work. But it's pretty funny some of the things that we've seen.
Oh, I'm sure. I work for an ISP, and some of the things that my home installers have told me they've seen.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. Anybody
I've
who
I've
works
seen
at people's houses has seen some stuff.
I've gone to a few houses and I've seen a few things, nothing too crazy. Like the one that always comes to mind was a set of Obama Biden salt and pepper shakers. So I mean, it's very safe for work. It was just weird.
As soon as the
Why would-
elections were over, whoever owned those were like, "All right, I never thought I'd get to use these again." Dude, oh no, what did I do to my pop filter? Okay, whatever. We're just gonna do away with that for now. All right, but yeah, yeah. I'm sorry. Okay, but getting back on track. Um, Other than providing probably what sounds like thousands of hours of entertainment for you guys, has Minecraft affected your lives in any way?
Yes, unfortunately. Every time it's foggy, I look outside and I think, who turned down the render distance?
Because that's how Minecraft's render distance works. It puts a fog in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a natural way of hiding what, so it doesn't look choppy for a low-end computer. It's fog. So the other
My
day, it was raining out here, and that's what I thought.
my bit on that is worse than that, Corey. So when I was younger, and that's all I played was Minecraft, and then every now and then I'd take a break and play the original Star Wars Battlefront 2 when I was a kid, and I had to stop myself from doing this. So creepers, which are these four-legged things in Minecraft, they're green, they get up close to you, they explode. They are like Al Qaeda in that way. They don't fly airplanes into buildings though, so a little different. A little different. So here's the thing though: creepers, before they explode, they hiss. They go sss, and then and your player takes damage, or the new sound, which kind of just sounds like somebody being slapped when they take damage. Anyway, so that hissing sound. When I was a kid, someone would go to the kitchen and turn on the faucet, and it would make a hissing sound, and I would go like that in real life because I was conditioned to every single time
Actually, to make that worse, so Sydney.
yes, I do.
One time we were talking, and she's like, "Yeah, in school, I would go behind him, and he'd freak out."
Yes. So there's this friend of ours, mutual friend of mine and Corey's named Sydney. Sydney would do that to me, and I hated it, and it was awful.
She has a very chaotic energy, so I mean,
Chaotic evil for sure, chaotic evil. More chaotic, like me. I'm chaotic neutral. I'll build machines
Chaotic
that
neutral.
automate things to the point where they'll lag your server, but they'll also give you infinite items. Huh? You know?
Ah,
So it's a chaotic neutral type situation for me.
I got you.
But you
You're
know,
an
for some,
equalizing force.
yes, I'm a chaotic equalizing force for sure. And I hate to mention that all things should be equal, comrades, but that's part of the reason why I was able to terrorize Cory so very easily in college by putting viruses on his machine and programming them to open up the Communist Manifesto, as well as the national anthem of the Soviet Union and several other things. But yeah.
It sounds like you guys also have made some crazy friends because you've
Oh
played
yeah.
this game.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I
we've had a lot of fun with it. So much chaos.
So much chaos. But you know, the thing is that I've made friends online that I've never heard from again through Minecraft, and that I've only ever seen them on one server. They were good friends with me, you know. We had this one pay to win server that was Skyblock, but it also, you know, you could pay for a better island or pay for resources, which is dumb.
Wait,
Or pay
so
for flying.
if you have a pay to win server, does that mean you guys make money off of it?
No,
No.
you're the ones. I mean, if you host it, yeah, but
Yeah.
they're
But
unethical. I mean,
they're very unethical.
Unethical.
But anyhow, we were on this pay to win server, me and my cousins were, and we were playing this game. Um, and these pay to win people would come in, they'd fly in, they got full, amazing, ultra rare diamond armor on and, you know, stuff. And this is before Netherite was introduced, but they would fly in and they'd just kill everybody in the PvP arena, take all their money and all their stuff, and they'd just leave. And so we got sick and tired of this, and much like Reddit rose up against the big guys, we rose up against them. Here's how this went down. Me and a couple members of my family and some of my online Minecraft friends that I've never heard from since did this. We had a plan. We invited the biggest, the baddest pay to win person on the server. I mean, one shot kills you everything, right? You know, full package that they got. We invited him to the PvP arena. We challenged him, and there were three of us, but we took him down, as well as the many other people that also witnessed this happening that were cheering us on. But basically, we broke it down into a three-person plan, and then everybody else just had bows and arrows because this guy can fly because he pays for that, which is
Oh,
cheating
wow.
and dumb. Right. So you know how crazy this is, right, Cory? If you can fly and you can't take hardly any damage and you can one-shot people, what's the point of playing, right? And that's how
Yeah,
much he to win.
that's really sad.
That's really sad. So here's what we did. Person one's job was a suicide mission. Person one challenges the guy. I can't remember his name or username for the life of me, but person one challenges the guy to fly down into the PvP arena and kill him. Of course, he's got to do that because he thinks he's invulnerable, right? Person one throws a splash poison bottle on him, so now the guy is poisoned, so he's taking damage that his armor can't prevent. Additionally, person two, it was my job by the way, has a flame aspect sword that if I hit somebody with them, they will instantly catch on fire. All right, person three will then with the other people that may or may not have been there. Was job was to block the exit of the PvP arena
Mm.
and to shoot arrows into it like crazy, I believe. So this is what we did. My cousin Gage challenged him. He threw the bottle of splash poison down. He dies instantly. I go in next. I hit him with the sword, so he is now poisoned and on fire. At this point, this person who paid that much on the server is freaking out. So they're heading for the exit, right? Because they're on half-life, which never happens to them. The next thing we did, we were like, okay, light him up! And we all just got our bows out, and we managed to end him.
And
Couple
that
of-
and that
Sorry.
man was Barack Obama.
was Barack Obama. So no, we managed to end him. Here's the saddest part of this story, though. A couple of days later, the server crashed, and all of our islands were gone. All of our items were gone too.
Sad boys. But
Mhm.
that's quite the inspirational Rudy style story. I like it.
Goody
That's something I
style.
love about Rudy, like the football.
Rudy, like Rudy.
Um,
Rudy.
So that's one thing I
Sam
love
Ganji.
about Minecraft is people use the cliche, thing about RPGs about making your own story or whatnot. But Minecraft did that better than anything. Like,
Yeah.
I remember when I first started playing, I had this crappy little laptop. I had borrowed a friend's account, but I was trying to get leather, and I found some cows, and I had you can lead them places with hay. So I found a couple, and I'm walking backwards, trying to get these cows back to my home, and I'm totally lost. But I think I know where I'm going, and I find my way back, and I'm starting to get close to home. Walking backwards, I don't know what's there, so I fell off a cliff and died and lost the cows.
And your items.
Yeah, it was a traumatic story of love and loss.
I will tell you this though.
That sounds like one of those like old folk fairy tales that are like supposed to have moral like life lesson. And because he got lost and his cows died, his family starved to death.
And that's why you always look where you're going. Or it's like one of those poorly spelled Tumblr things. Like this if you cry every time.
But no, like there are stories in this game, and I think a lot of them are being formed on YouTube right now. Right now, there's a YouTuber named Dream, and I'm not plugging for him, but I will say this. The guy holds a world record speedrun for the game, killing the Ender Dragon, beating the end boss. Here's the thing, though. He also has a thing called Manhunt that he does, where three of his friends try to prevent him from beating the game, or more, right? If they kill him once, they win. If he manages to beat the game, he wins, right? And this is how he sharpens his skills. But in one of their last games, this guy has used more. Cory, you think I use glitches and logic circuits? This guy, yeah.
I've seen like how speedrunners play things, and it just blows my mind.
You know, this is something he did to avoid his friends. If you get in a boat in Minecraft, the boat's speed decelerates no matter what direction it's going in. That's the way the code works. So he literally got in a boat and flew off a cliff. He pushed himself off a cliff in this boat and then would get out of it and get back into it and get out of it and get back into it. And the result was that his friends would fall really quick, but he would fall like a feather all the way down to the ground.
Dude, that is Looney Tunes level crap.
It is Looney Tunes level stuff. He also managed to make ghost blocks happen with scaffolding, which is crazy, recently. And he was basically able to walk on air, you know. And it was just this guy is nuts. He studies these glitches.
So in other words, he's the Roadrunner. His friends were Wile E. Coyote.
Yes. But you need to watch some of his videos to see the incredible amount of knowledge he has on these tiny little glitches that you can get in Minecraft. But anyway,
if you send me the video, I'll check it out.
Yeah,
I'm gonna pull a U. Send me the link.
I will send you the link Monday, my friend. Just remind me.
It reminds me of like Super Mario 64 speedrunners and.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Hit the wall at a certain speed after killing the enemies in a certain order at a certain point in music. Yeah.
Okay. All right, guys. So there's a question that I like to ask at the end of each podcast, right? And me and my friends have answered this. Like for every time we do a new genre type. So I'm gonna ask you guys this, since we're talking about video games. Do you guys think video games can change the world?
Yes.
Absolutely, especially with what's happened in Minecraft. I don't know if you're aware of this, Ralf, but there is a Minecraft server out there that is a library, and it's just a bunch of chests. And you see, this is Cory. I think you were about to bring this up as well. So,
no, but I'm just glad you did.
In these chests, there are written books with quills you can craft in Minecraft. You can type anything you want. So a lot of governments around the world will ban books from countries and ban information, and then post their own version of it. Like China is currently trying to post its own version of the Quran and the Bible. You know, and it's just nuts. So there's these places in the world where information is banned, where certain types of knowledge are banned. But there is a Minecraft server that you can log into, and anybody can log into it, that is a library of these player crafted books and quills with those books transcribed word for word in them. And it's this huge library. It's shaped like the Library of Congress, and there are gardens you can read in, and like that right there tells you that, when it's driven by the masses, when it's driven by the players, when it's driven by the people of Reddit fighting against the stock market gurus, right? They'll never take our lives. They'll never take our freedom, or whatever it is. But when it comes down to the masses, people can use whatever mediums to incite change. And I think video games in particular, and Minecraft in particular, has been a perfect example of that. Sorry. I hate to take up a lot of time. I know we're trying to end this.
No,
The
no. This answer could be as long as you guys need it to be.
a different side of that, with the pandemic, I feel like video games have really taken on a new light. People have started gaming that never would have thought about it, and people have been able to socialize and have healthy conversation with friends through video games.
That's how we keep talking. We both log into the Minecraft. That's how we catch up. I mean,
like when we were stuck at home and I opened up the Minecraft server and we got to talk, it kept us healthy, like mentally. Things like that, and I think that will continue to go forward. I mean, you hear of people like in MMOs who do stuff for dying friends. Like,
yeah.
I mean, video games. I feel like the negative stigma is slowly going away. Like, oh, it causes violence, or I mean, obviously there's pros and cons, and especially for children, you just got to know your kid. But I digress. That's a different topic for another day.
Yeah.
When put in the right
Its
place,
own podcast, honestly.
when put into its proper spot, I feel like it really can change the world.
Absolutely.
It's changed mine.
Same.
Yeah. And I honestly, that's one of the things that I did mention in the other video game. We did a podcast just about like video games in general. And that's one of the things I mentioned, that I don't think we could have gotten through the pandemic as well as we did without being able to play video games, because honestly, me and my core group of friends, I don't think we've ever been closer, and it's because we're talking almost every other day because we're playing different video games together and stuff like that. Also, Gudde, I got chills, man, thinking of what you were saying about the library. I mean, it's sad to say, but sometimes people in power do not have the best intentions.
Amen to that.
And the fact that people are fighting to help other humans stay informed, have actual information, and be able to share truths, and maybe even do some cloak and dagger stuff with like messages in there, not letting the man keep them down. Every time you start losing hope or faith in humanity, and you see little things like that, I think that shows that the majority of people in this world are good, and they have good intentions for one another. And stories like that is just amazing. And I for myself, like video games are used for therapy. They're used for so many things, and they're used for building people's confidence. There's this one YouTuber, man, I wish I remember his name. He said that video gaming and Twitch streaming are what has helped him with his depression. So I mean, it's a medium that I think we all love and enjoy.
That actually, yeah, especially with Twitch and Minecraft. I was watching one of my favorite, his name is Pedguin TV. Not plugging for him, but I was watching him on Twitch, and I was in a really sad and really dark place, and I was trying to find a job, and this is before I came to our company, Ralf, and I was just in a bad way, and I typed up this paragraph of whatever. I just poured my heart out in his comment section. He stopped the entire stream and read it out and said, "Man, hang in there," I'm sure there are things for your field that you could do and stuff, and like, he stopped his entire stream, his entire Minecraft playing, just to talk to me about it. And so I completely agree with that piece. Sorry to interrupt, but
no, and I'm glad you said that, because there's a lot of people in this world, and I am gonna keep chirping on this, and I'm gonna sound like a broken record because I try to mention it every time I can, but there's a lot of people in this world that deal with a lot of problems and mental issues, and
Corey knows I do.
Right?
We play Minecraft together.
Right, exactly. But like, reach out to somebody, and if you don't have friends and you need to talk to somebody, I mean, go to the website. There's like tons of ways for you to communicate with me, or I'm sure we'll put in the plug for Cory. You could reach out to Cory, and then Cory gets inundated with a bunch of emails
But
like,
you
I'm
can't
so
reach out
sad.
to Will.
I need a Minecraft friend. Hey, Will, if you want to put it out there, I'll put it out there for you, bud. I'll
Don't
plug you
dare.
in.
Don't you dare. I don't want to hear people's
So-
problems.
So me and
Go
Cory
visit
are
Will at his
good.
job. He works at.
Me and Cory are good Samaritans. We'll help you out. Will, as we've established, promotes communism and communistic propaganda. Actually, that's a joke. Don't take that seriously, people.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you.
William is a good-hearted American.
Yes. Yes.
as we've established, an agent of equalizing chaos. But I appreciate you guys for doing this.
People.
Hey,
they
happy.
say,
I'm happy to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Oh,
They just
definitely.
when I say that one little Minecraft server will be griefed, everyone just goes on and does what they do. But then I say that I'm going to build a digital clock and people just lose their minds. It's chaos. And
I'm not
that's
gonna-
what I do.
I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty good Heath Ledger Joker impression.
It is.
I'm
It is.
fairly impressed.
Dr.
So
Sharon.
okay, I'm gonna use that as your closing words, Gudde, because I don't think you can do better than that. But there's a new tradition that I have on closing every single episode, that I put the guests on a spotlight and they have to come up with closing words, and we'll just use that for Will's. Cory, drop
cut
some
off
knowledge, either something funny, something that's impactful for you, a haiku. I don't care what it is. Just give me some closing words.
You can tell a lot about people by some of the things they like. Like some people like, how do I word this? I have come up with my own personality test that tells me everything I need to know about somebody by one simple question. Do you prefer Seinfeld or Friends? If they say Friends, run.
Cory, I answered friends, but you didn't run. That's the issue. That's our issue, Cory.
That's because he can't run faster than you, Will.
He's already seized the means of production.
already sees the production of memes.
Oh,
Yeah. All right.
good night, everybody.
Good night. Good night. Guys, again, thank you. I don't think there's a better way to
you.
end it. And that's it. It's a wrap.